Hey guys, welcome back to another video where we're going to be doing part 2 of the Super Mario Galaxy boss fight tournament. In this video, the Super Mario Galaxy 2 bosses will be fighting against each other to see which boss is the strongest. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see which boss wins, and without further ado, let's get into it. Kicking off our huge tournament, we have Bowser versus Dig-a-Leg. This might seem like an obvious decision because Bowser is just Bowser, am I right? Well, on my top 10 hardest Super Mario Galaxy bosses video, you should go check that out, I ranked Bowser 5th on the list and Dig-a-Leg 10th. So keep in mind throughout this whole tournament that there could be some major upsets. But anyways, let's get started with this fight. Dig-a-Leg and Bowser are surprisingly both very mobile bosses, with Dig-a-Leg's jumping ability and Bowser can just float around. Now Bowser is definitely a lot more mobile considering that the fact he can infinitely float, instead of just jumping, which is limited. But that doesn't mean Dig-a-Leg doesn't have his own advantage, because Dig-a-Leg has thick metal armor for a body instead of Bowser's Dino Lizard's skin. So now we have to decide by comparing both their health stats and attack stats. Well, Dig-a-Leg goes down in 3 hits, and Bowser can take probably infinite hits at this point, but I think in this fight it's 10 or 11 counting his revival phase. So Bowser wins the health stat, and Dig-a-Leg only tries to send minions that are melee at Bowser when Bowser can just float in this fight, so that leaves Dig-a-Leg's possible lifesaver, his jumping attack. With his melee minion attack being useless, his jumping attack could really save him here, so let's listen up. See what he's got here. When you fight Dig-a-Leg in the game, he jumps off screen and lands on the opposite side of the planet just a couple seconds later. But I've always questioned, how did he get there? Did he jump really high, or just barely enough to get him to the opposite side of the planet? I don't know, and I never will. Oh no! But there's nothing going against my theory, and I'm going to say that Dig-a-Leg can jump hundreds of feet into the air. This could be what Dig-a-Leg needed, infinite jump to win this fight. No, he still loses because Bowser is huge in this game, and with huge amounts of fire breath, Bowser could just melt Dig-a-Leg with a mere cough. Okay, so now we have Pee-wee Piranha against King Caliente. And is this one even a competition? It is kind of annoying the wild card of this tournament is going to be moving on to the second round, but I can't even come up with some blatant excuse because fire/lava is always going to be grass. So unfortunately, Pee-wee is going down in the first round. Sorry, buddy. Moving on to the next fight, it's gonna be Squizzard versus Glamdozer. Both very disgusting looking bosses. This fight is a tough decision because in real life, fire beats sand, so wouldn't Glamdozer just shoot fireballs and burn Squizzard to death? Well, I don't know because Squizzard is made of sand, and yes, I did Google it, so I'm gonna say Squizzard is made of sand. But I'll go and say he's got regular lizard skin, along with being living in the sand. Almost identical to Bowser's, it's just a tan color to it. So Glamdozer can't burn Squizzard. Squizzard can throw bombs back at Glamdozer to kill her, but Glamdozer isn't very fast, so she wouldn't be able to dodge the bombs, and this will end up with Squizzard getting the dub. Okay, so now, unlike the last fight, we have a very easy win here in the fight between Mega Hammer and Gigalakatu. With Mega Hammer's huge hammers, he could easily crush Gigalakatu in between the two of them. But you might be thinking that, well, Gigalakatu can fly, but so can Mega Hammer, so there you go. But then there's the argument of, if Mega Hammer and Gigalakatu are flying around in the air, what's Mega Leg gonna crush Gigalakatu against? He has 2 hammers, as I already stated, because those are his hands, and humans have 2 hands, yeah, you get it. So Mega Hammer is having an easy dub right here. I don't even need to spend time on this because, I mean, a huge boss that is only goal to roll over top of you versus the boss that's weakness is exactly that. I mean, Rolladillo couldn't have gotten luckier in the first round. He will be moving on. Sorry, Mandibug, you got destroyed again. And wrapping up the obvious segment of wins in round 1, we will have Womp King versus Prince Picante. Okay, so yeah, this one again is very obvious because, well, wall go boom, congratulations, King Tri-Wall, you're moving on to the second round. Clap clap, Prince Picante, you're dead, you suck. Finally, moving on to a fight that will be actually interesting after quite a while, we have Gobblegut, regular Gobblegut, not fiery Gobblegut, the regular one. Gobblegut versus the Boomsday Machine. Alright, this fight is maybe one of the hardest decisions of the first round. The Boomsday Machine versus Gobblegut is very, very difficult for me to decide, but I have made my decision. Now, starting off, Gobblegut already has an advantage, being that he can fly, unlike his opponent. Yes, the Boomsday Machine does have projectiles, but they're very slow, so they wouldn't hit Gobblegut because Gobblegut could simply move. It's not looking good for the Boomsday Machine, as I also forgot to mention that Gobblegut can just slap the top of the Boomsday Machine and then it go boom and it's all over. And wrapping up round 1 is a flying fire dragon will cough and end Sorbetty the Snowball's run for a championship. How sad. Alright, kicking off the second round, we have the Koopa King taking on the Caliente King. This guy! So already I'm seeing a huge disadvantage for Bowser, being that he's huge in this game, and Squid Game here has fiery projectiles, and throughout every Mario game, fire or lava has been what kills Bowser. So basically in this fight, Bowser will be dodging all these projectiles, and even if he gets a slight edge and a chance to attack King Caliente, what's Bowser gonna do? Breathe fire at an octopus that lives in lava? Punch the fire octopus and burn his hand? The only thing Bowser could use to attack Mr. Octopus over here is his meteor attack. Which could potentially crush King Caliente. The only thing is, I just don't think Bowser would have time to use this attack while dodging all the fiery projectiles from King Caliente, so King Caliente will beat the King of the Koopas and move on to the semifinals. Moving on to our next fight in round 2, we've got Squizzard matching up against Mega Hammer. This fight I already know is going to be a very close one, so let's just dive right in. The interesting thing about this fight is that both Mega Hammer and Squizzard have advantages and disadvantages against each other. For Squizzard, his advantage is throwing bombs is one of the attacks, and Mega Hammer is defeated by bullet bills, which are bombs. And for Mega Hammer, his advantage is that he can fly and Squizzard cannot and doesn't actually move when fighting Mario, so we don't know how fast he is if he can even move. This means that Squizzard is slow or unmobile at all, then while Mega Hammer is very mobile, and he can just take one swing of his hammer and eliminate Squizzard from the competition because Squizzard is slow or unmobile, however you say it. Or Squizzard is too fast for Mega Hammer to crush, so Squizzard is able to avoid all Mega Hammer's bullet bills and crushing Hammer's attacks and whip a couple bombs right towards Mega Hammer and eliminate him from the competition. So how do I decide who wins? So I've decided to find the winner of this fight by whichever boss has better attacks. Mega Hammer has bullet bills and crushing hammers, and Squizzard has whatever you want to call these and bombs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Mega Hammer wins, but I do 100% understand if you disagree. Now, this next fight is actually quite interesting, because it is of course very controversial. Mr. Womp Buddy over here should be able to just crush Rolladillo and be done with it, right? Because that's what he was doing this whole tournament, so why wouldn't it work now? Well, my theory is that Rolladillo, in the same galaxy that the Rock Mushroom is featured in, and when Mario uses the Rock Mushroom, you can jump slightly off the ground, so I think Rolladillo outspeeds the Womp King and gets behind him and then rams into the Womp King's back, defeating him. That's my theory. Again, if you disagree, I could understand this one, but I think this is the right decision. Okay, guys, this is just stupid. They're literally both the same boss, except one is fiery. Who do you think's gonna win? Congrats, Fiery Gobblegut. You're having this way too easy. So now we've got ourselves an obvious dub for one of the bosses here, being Mega Hammer. Mega Hammer beats King Caliente for some actually very obvious reasons that a lot of you might find dumb, but just let me explain, alright? So King Caliente does shoot projectiles, which when Mario fights Mega Hammer, not Mario, projectiles are what kills Mega Hammer. So King Caliente having projectiles may seem like a mega advantage. But Mega Hammer is actually really fast, and King Caliente's projectiles are a lot slower than the bullet bills that Mario uses with Yoshi in the fight against Mega Hammer in-game. So all of that means King Caliente will lose the fight because Mega Hammer could easily whack away the projectiles from himself and crush Mr. Squid Game, ending his run. Mega Hammer is moving on. Moving on to the second last fight of this entire tournament, we have Rolodillo facing off against Fiery Gobblegut. First, I'd like to give Rolodillo a huge round of applause because he didn't even make my top 10 hardest Super Mario Galaxy 2 boss list. Yet he has come all the way to the semifinals. And by the way, I'm not changing the video. He's not a very hard boss to fight with Mario. Okay, on to the fight. So, for this battle, Rolodillo will be rolling around on the ground willy-nilly while Fiery Gobblegut rains fireballs from the sky to try and eat Rolodillo. I'm not sure how Fiery Gobblegut will be able to eat Rolodillo because he's so fat, but I think Fiery Gobblegut could just bite off Rolodillo's legs or something. It sounds kind of gruesome. And then burn him to death! Anyway, sorry Rolodillo, but your time's up, buddy. You made it pretty far, you should be proud of yourself. Here we are. The finals. Everything that these two bosses have fought for is on the line in one final fight. Everything could be for nothing or for everything. Let's see who wins the finals. So, this entire fight would take place in the sky because both of these bosses can fly. They'd be whipping back and forth across the battle arena, Mega Hammer slashing his hammers wildly and strategically, and Fiery Gobblegut crunching his teeth midair, hoping for a taste of Mega Hammer. Mega Hammer has a higher chance of dealing damage in this fighting style, so Fiery Gobblegut starts raining down fireballs and thrashing his tail around and around. Mega Hammer, not being able to get close to Fiery Gobblegut, sends a fleet of bullet bills, followed by a bonsai bill speeding towards the tail-spinning Fiery Gobblegut, causing an absolutely massive explosion and eliminating his challenger, Fiery Gobblegut. Congratulations, Mega Hammer, you've won. Wait. Now, before anyone asks, I did not make up Mega Hammer just winning just because I told as a made-up story. I did, of course, check the strengths and weaknesses of both bosses and stats and everything, and realized that Mega Hammer is just the better boss when put head-to-head. I just made the final fight scene up just to make things a little more intense. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making it. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video, as I'm really trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of 2023. Anyways, with all that said, I hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you another time. Goodbye.